All right, guys, so I just wanted to make a short video to talk about the recent news. So first recent news, UD signed for his 20th season. Congrats to UD and his family. I love Udonis Haslem. Obviously, he's not going to go out there and beat anybody up or tear it up on the floor, but I'm sure he's a great voice in the locker room. I don't know why, if you are a Heat fan, like a real Heat fan, you have anything disrespectful to say to UD, because the 15th man ain't gonna do crap anyways, so he can have that spot. He is Miami, so he can stay on the rock. He can be in his 50th season. I don't care at this point. I have nothing bad to say about UD, but I do have a lot of bad things to say about Kevin Durant. So I like Kevin Durant as a player, but I don't like that we went from the original plan of trading for Kevin Durant and keeping Bam as our third option to now settling for what Brooklyn wanted, which was to trade Bam. That was a really weak move, and obviously our GM Andy realized that and realized that he didn't need to be thirsty for Kevin Durant and give up one of our better young players when obviously, you know, we would rather move on from Tyler and don't mind moving on from some other pieces too, but why would we move on from Bam, who is a defensive player candidate and improving every year? Like, that doesn't make sense, guys. And I know that didn't rub a lot of casual Heat fans the right way, because, you know, you've been told that Kevin Durant is pretty much the best player in the NBA, which is a lie. Giannis is the best player in the NBA. He's a pretty good player, but he is coming off an Achilles injury from 2 years ago when he used to play for or 3 now, where he used to play for Golden State. And I think the numbers don't always tell the truth about his post-injury era, because he's getting utilized more in Brooklyn for obvious reasons. The Golden State team was really good. So I don't really understand how we went from the original plan of having Bam and KD together, aka his favorite player on the team, to settling for what Brooklyn asked for, which was to trade Bam to Brooklyn. Like, that never made any sense to me. Also, we got the whole Ben Simmons situation where we'd have to find a third team for Ben Simmons, and who the hell wants Ben Simmons? So I have a lot of Heat fans that were arguing with me saying that, you know, pretty much Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler is like a title lock or a finals trip. And to be honest, I don't think we get past the Celtics or the Bucks with just Jimmy and Kevin Durant. We'd have to go out there and get a third piece if we're going to trade Bam. So I always thought that this trade idea for, you know, Kevin Durant giving up Tyler Hero, Bam, and maybe Max Strus and Duncan, you know, didn't really make sense, because then again, we'd have to still make moves, because if that's going to be, you know, the team, you know, Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler as the 1-2, I don't think that team gets to the finals, and they definitely don't win the finals if they get to the finals. Now, if we look at the history of Kevin Durant, his best years, he kind of wasted some of it with Westbrook, but he obviously won his rings with Golden State, which he's a great player. He's the best player on that team, but if we're being honest, it worked because he played with 2 of the best shooters in NBA history, and he's also in that top 5 of best shooters. So it's a stacked team. Then he goes to Brooklyn, and you could say, you know, they weren't fully healthy and they almost won, but his sneaker was too big and Nash doesn't know how to coach, but he failed. He didn't win a championship with the next set of superstars. Doesn't matter how you want to slice it, he failed with Harden and Kyrie Irving. I don't care who was injured, because at the end of the day, that never mattered for LeBron when he lost Kevin Love. So that's not an excuse for him to not make the finals. And obviously his sneaker size is his sneaker size. So if they could have went to the finals with the smaller shoes, it's not possible for him. He has big feet. So again, he failed with Harden and Kyrie Irving. So fast forward, he had Irving by himself. He got swept. So you could say, oh, who did they have on the team? I have a lot of fake Heat fans who are making excuses for this guy. Oh, who did he have on the team? And you're right, they didn't really have a lot of good players. I mean, they had Goran. That's our guy, right? We like Goran, right? They had Claxton was a decent player. He missed like 10 free throws in a row. That was pretty bad that one game. And they also have Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown, a pretty good player. So why we pretend like they played with complete trash and there was no other player? They had Bruce Brown. He was pretty consistent in that series. And they got swept. This is the same team that beat the Bucks because Middleton wasn't playing, and they struggled versus us. And we had Max Strus and Laurie, which I'm gonna make a video on whether they're probably the worst team, the worst backcourt to play in the Eastern Conference ever. Like, I don't want to go all the way back, but we'll probably go back 10 years, 20 years. I can't think of another backcourt that was worse than Kyle Lowry and Max Strus in this last ECF. And we took them to 7. We were one Jimmy Butler 3 away from winning the Eastern Conference Finals and going to the finals. So why are fake Heat fans all over Kevin Durant? Like, it wasn't even a realistic trade to begin with, and you guys are selling out Bam for a fake trade. So that's it for my Kevin Durant rant. I think he's a really good player, but I don't really feel like we need to trade all our young guys for a player that's 34. You know, obviously he's recovered from his Achilles injury, but he's 34. He's not going to get any better. So I'm glad this whole situation is over, and that's pretty much it for this Kevin Durant rant. This is all BS, and it really set us back having to worry about if we could actually trade for Kevin Durant. So you guys tell me how you feel. Maybe you guys are Kevin Durant homers or whatever you want to call it, fanboys, and you will explain to me how, you know, Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler was going to, you know, take us to the finals and how we should have sold out for Kevin Durant. But leave a comment. Let me know.